Hello, fellow coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1969 D1-cent Liberty coin. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about coins, this video is for you. Let's get started. Cut to a close-up of the 1969 D1-cent coin with details zoomed in. Here it is, the 1969 D1-cent Liberty coin, also known as the 1969 Lincoln cent. This is one of the most well-known and widely circulated coins in U.S. history. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and a simple, yet elegant, design on the reverse, it represents the continuation of a long tradition in U.S. coinage. Let's talk about the design of the coin. The obverse, or front side, features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been in place since the coin was first minted in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over time, it became a symbol of the nation's resilience and progress. On the reverse side, we see the Union Shield design, which is a classic element of American symbolism, along with the inscriptions E pluribus unum and 1 cent. The year and mint mark are also present here, which in this case is the D, signifying that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Scene 3. The minting of the 1969 D coin. The 1969 D1-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the most important facilities in the U.S. mint system. The D mint mark indicates that this particular coin was struck in Denver as opposed to the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally strikes most coins without a mint mark. In 1969, over 3 billion pennies were minted at the Denver Mint alone. That's a lot of coins in circulation, and it speaks to how prevalent the penny was at the time. With such a large mintage, you might think that the 1969 D1-cent would be a dime a dozen, but there are actually a few interesting quirks and rarities surrounding this year's penny. Scene 4. The 1969 D penny in the context of U.S. coinage history. To truly understand the significance of the 1969 D penny, we need to take a step back in time. The 1960s were a period of great change and upheaval in the United States. The Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, and the space race were just a few of the defining events of the decade. For coinage, the 1960s were a pivotal time. During this decade, the U.S. government began experimenting with new materials due to the rising costs of precious metals like copper and silver. By 1962, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies with a copper-coated zinc core to reduce costs. The 1969 D coin was made using this composition, which would become standard for the penny in the decades that followed. Scene 5. The rare 1969 D penny and varieties display images of various 1969 D pennies, showing subtle differences now. Let's talk about the intriguing part of the 1969 D1-cent Liberty coin, its rarities and potential varieties. In particular, coin collectors have been especially interested in a phenomenon called doubling. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once, resulting in a blurry or doubled design. The 1969 D penny is known for having a few double die varieties, particularly the 1969 D double die obverse. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, creating a double image on the coin. Although the 1969 D double die is considered rare, it's one of the more famous error coins in circulation. These types of coins can fetch a premium price at auctions, sometimes thousands of dollars, depending on the degree of doubling and its condition. However, finding a 1969 D double die penny in your pocket change is incredibly rare, so most 1969 D pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent. Scene 6. The value of the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin show the value of a typical 1969D penny, followed by the price of a 1969D double die example. For the most part, the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin is still just worth 1 cent. Nothing too exciting, right? But, as we mentioned earlier, if you happen to come across a 1969D with a noticeable double die error, you might have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. Depending on its condition and the severity of the error, a 1969D double die can be worth anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. Of course, the coin needs to be properly authenticated and graded before you can expect to get top dollar for it. Scene 7. How to identify the double die on a 1969D coin. Demonstrate the process of identifying a double die error using a magnifying tool. So, how can you spot the famous 1969D double die penny? Here's what to look for. 1. First, examine the date and the lettering of the word Liberty on the obverse. If you notice a noticeable doubling effect, where the letters seem to have a shadowed, blurry outline, it's likely an example of a double die. The doubling is most noticeable on the lower part of the date and the word Liberty. A genuine double die will have clear separation between the original and secondary impressions. It's important to use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look. If you find one of these, consider getting it professionally graded and authenticated. Scene 8. Conclusion and final thoughts. Cut to a final shot of the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin. While the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin may seem like just another penny at first glance, it's truly a part of America's rich coinage history. From its design by Victor David Brenner to the possibility of discovering rare and valuable varieties like the 1969D double die, this coin holds both historical and numismatic significance. So, the next time you come across a 1969D penny, take a moment to appreciate its history. And who knows, you might just find a rare gem hidden in your pocket change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more coin-related content. Have any of you ever found a rare coin like this? Let us know in the comments below. And music fades as the video cuts to a subscribe and like animation. Show the end screen with related videos and a reminder to subscribe. This script covers all the details you would need for a well-rounded and informative YouTube video on the 1969D 1-cent Liberty coin, including its design, historical context, rarities, and potential value. You can adjust the length and pacing as needed depending on your style and audience.